Greetings, citizens! I'm here, wishing all you Yanks a happy Labor Day, and all you internationals a happy, presumably ordinary day. Last time on Princess Crown, we finished up with Edward's story, and so today, it's time to crack open our little black book for the sexiest adventure yet. Featuring that swashbuckling slab of maritime man-candy, Portus. Take it away, Granny. Portus's story opens with him consulting a witch because he's hunting a demon but doesn't know where to find it. And the witch is like, "Damn, son, I don't know how to track a demon." And Portus is discouraged. However, the witch suggests that Portus might have better luck consulting with Heindel, ever the information provider of the Princess Crown universe. And since Heindel always charges a fee for his information, Portus would be wise to bring along the magic gem of the sea. And the sea gem is known to be part of the treasure of the legendary pirate captain Drake. And furthermore, if Portus heads over to Leland, he should be able to find more information about Drake's treasure there. And so we have a lead. And here in the Leland pub, we find this old fellow with a treasure map, leading to the treasures of Captain Drake. But he doesn't have a ship, and he doesn't have a crew. Well, conveniently, we're looking for the very same treasure ourselves, so this is a good opportunity to strike a bargain. So Portus and the map holder come to an agreement that as long as Portus can take the sea gem, the old man can have the rest of the treasure to dispose of as he sees fit. It's a fairly generous offer, and so we've got a deal. And with that, we gain control. I'm just going to ditch this bracelet, which I don't need, and chomp down that fish for a little HP boost. I like Portus's eating animation because he looks so pissed. Ah, I hate food! Anyway, after a stop at the inn to do a save game, I'm headed off to the docks. You can do a little shopping in town if you like, but I'm not going to be bothered. And here at the docks, we meet up with our contact. A lot of words are exchanged. And our ocean voyage begins. It seems there's a slight hitch. The route to Pirate Isle, our destination, leads us through a ship graveyard. And whenever there's a ship graveyard in any good RPG, that means ghost ships. And where you have ghost ships, you have ghosts. And where we have ghosts, we have Portus's first fight, which is a pretty beefy one against a poltergeist with a Slavewood second stage. And here you see Portus's basic combo. I like the second hit of the cycle, which has him do a little mini Shoryuken. His low attack's kinda neat too. He does a little slide tackle with his peg leg. And his super, which is kind of a mixed bag. It's slow to come out, but it has pretty good range. Also, the forward flip animation has some invincibility frames, so you can actually make it go through some attacks. But there is one more drawback as well, which is that it does 3 hits, and you won't necessarily get every hit in. It does pretty solid damage if you manage to hit with all 3 stages of it, but, of course, if you only get 1 or 2 hits out of the 3, it's not going to be as effective. Another thing about playing as Portus, I swear he seems more fragile to me. Now, I haven't actually done the math or compared the numbers to see if he actually does have a lower defense, but it really seems that way to me because he seems to get in trouble a lot faster than Gradriel or Edward. I just find myself low on HP a lot more often with him. I don't know if that's just because I'm clumsy with him or if he does in fact take extra damage, but if it's the latter, it would make a certain sense because he's not wearing any armor. Portus is just not the type to sacrifice style for functionality. Anyway, that's stage 1 of the introductory battle, but we have the Slavewood phase yet to complete. One thing I find kind of weird about his scenario in general is that it seems strangely front-loaded on the difficulty. He has some relatively tough fights early on, and then later in his scenario the enemies seem to get weaker. Well, there are some tough ones near the end too, there just don't seem to be as many. Ugh. I am not a pizza. Do not cut me like one. That seems an appropriately piratical way to end the battle. Finish off the enemy by carving him into coins. And now that we've survived the ship graveyard, the rest of the voyage to Pirate Island goes off without a hitch. And of course, since Portus is the current player character, it falls to him to do the island exploration. On his running animation, I kind of like the way his forelock gets swept back by the motion. Now, since we haven't seen too much of his fighting yet, I'll leave this Griffin battle in. It's the very first free exploration part of the game, and they're throwing griffins at us. And yet you'll see toward the end of Portus's game, they'll start throwing dodos and ochre jellies around. Just a weird sort of difficulty curve. Although, again, there are still some tough wandering monsters at the end. And there's Portus's victory animation, which I kinda like. Wipes off his sword before sheathing it. A class act all the way. And as I think I mentioned before, his sword slash animations remind me a great deal of Charlotte from the Samurai Showdown games. Anyway, we've found this here cave on Drake's Island, which seems as likely a spot to stash his treasure as anywhere. I kinda like this dungeon because it has two background sets. Nope, don't need an exit scroll. The upper part of the dungeon has this sort of built-up background. You know, fairly well-maintained bricks and proper doorways in places. But as we get deeper into the dungeon, it'll turn into more of a roughly hewn cave. Just kind of a nice touch, I thought, however minor. They do like their chaotic eyes in this part. What do we have in here? You selling something there? Oh, is this an inn? Sweet. Can't say too much for the accommodations, but I'll gladly take the health up and the save opportunity. Right. Bandaged and rejuvenated, Captain Portus returns to the fray. Now we're into that rough cave part of the dungeon, as I had previously mentioned. And I can just smell that treasure. No, wait, that's ghost stew I smell. I still have qualms about eating ghost stew, but we'll take it along. Anyway, as much as I like Portus's sword-cleaning victory animation, I have to say he has a particularly lame level-up animation. Just that sort of fist pump or flex or whatever it's supposed to be. Somewhat unusually, we have to go into a room to finish up the dungeon. And I think it's a pretty safe bet we have discovered the treasure of Captain Drake. And that could only be the magic gem of the sea. Yoink. Hey, it's the old guy with the map. Dude, if you could solo this dungeon, why did you send me? NPC immunity, I guess. But never mind that, it's actually Captain Big Hook in disguise. You didn't think we would get through a Portus story without this guy showing up, right? Dirty pool. Portus is going to demand satisfaction, But then a mysterious voice rings out. Well, shit. It appears the spirit of Captain Drake is not too thrilled with us screwing around in his treasure room. And Captain Big Hook, unsurprisingly, is all too quick to blame the whole thing on Portus. Big Hook away! And so naturally, we've got a fight on our hands. Interestingly, as you just saw, Captain Drake does get a unique monster title. However, in terms of appearance and behavior, he's just an ordinary ghoul. However, I don't think ordinary ghouls can drop Yggdrasil fruit, which is a very nice prize this early in the game. So you don't like me taking your treasure, huh? How about I add you to your treasure? Haha, pirate irony. Ugh. OTG with the critical twice. Maybe Drake is a little behaviorally different than your average ghoul. If not in terms of what moves he actually has, then in terms of how well he uses them. Of course, I am not privy to the AI behind the scenes here, so it could all be a coincidence. But considering he just did it again, that would be a hell of a coincidence. No, you're not getting me a third time. Or a fourth time, or whatever that was. Shit! Portus needs food badly. I really don't want to use that up. So hopefully I'll just make it quick with the mango, and yeah, that went nicely. Drake was polite enough to just kind of sit around while I had my snack. He's administering quite a beating. Gotta finish this thing. Cutlass Fury! Okay, I don't actually have a cutlass so much as a... I guess that's an AP? AP? Something like that. Always gotta give some love to Skies of Arcadia, though. Well, after all that, Drake is still standing. But apparently, by kicking his ass, we released his soul, or something to that effect. So he's happy with us now. And he's going to teleport us out of the dungeon. Which is always nice. It pleases me not to have to backtrack toward the entrance. Thanks, Drake. I'll be sure to stab Big Hook a lesson for you. Well, not much we can do now but depart the island and hope to meet up with our foe once again. And it looks like we're not going to have to look too hard. Gentlemen, prepare to repel boarders. Now, being an evil pirate captain type, unsurprisingly, Big Hook decides to lead off by throwing some fodder at us. That's fine, we'll cut them down in relatively short order. I kind of want that E+1, but I'm getting pressured. Oh well, guess the goblins can have it. Right, that's it for the minions. And now for the main course. That extending hook of his is quite a pain in the ass, as always. He can very easily OTG you with the second hit, if he manages to land the first one. And it can be kinda tricksy to avoid the second hit, even if you do avoid the first one. That close-range elbow of his is quite a pain in the ass, too. For such a basic attack, it does a surprising amount of damage, and it comes out fast enough to interrupt a great number of the things you could try to hit him with, even your regular combo. Putting quite a hurt on me. Luckily, Portus has a very green thumb and can somehow grow mangoes on the deck of a wooden ship. Also, I find myself very happy that I brought the ghost stew along. And as you see, Captain Big Hook does have the ability to summon in more minions from time to time. I don't know if he can do that more than once. I can say that I've never seen him do it more than once. Well, Big Hook, you're only delaying the inevitable. He said as he's pretty much out of healing items aside from the Yggdrasil fruit, which I hope to be able to keep a little longer. Yeah, this is really not the most gorgeous situation for our hero Portus. But Skinny Pirate's hamburger should help us out a bit. A modest but quick boost of HP. And while Edward did not, it appears Portus has the equivalent ability of the unit drop, so that's nice. One more hit, and very good. Yeah, that got a little too close a little too often. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. And we've got our magic gem of the sea once again. Not only that, holy shit, pennies from heaven. It appears we get a little extra token of gratitude from Captain Drake. So not only do we get the magic gem of the sea, but there's some treasure for the crew and ourselves that we would otherwise have to have given to the old guy with the map, even if he hadn't been Big Hook in disguise. Anyway, now that we're back in Leland, the crew seems somewhat concerned. But there's no turning back now, we've got a demon to hunt. And we're going to have to go through Catabato and Nelt in order to get to the cave of Heindel, so we can trade that there magic gem for information on the demon we're hunting. So along the way, I'd just like to show this in Catabato. If you go to the merchant's district and talk to this guy in front of the fountain, he's selling something for 1,000 gold, which is actually Portus's third inventory bag. He starts off with 2. I didn't have 1,000 gold handy, and I won't be back again. But that's alright. I don't really need a third bag for this relatively short scenario. Just thought you should know it's there. Anyway, this is Heindel's Cave where we are now. It's pretty much exactly the same dungeon that it's always been. I beg your pardon, I can't think of anything whatsoever to say about Heindel's Dungeon, which we've seen I don't know how many times now. And here's his room and treasure hoard, same as it ever was. And Portus has come with his tribute already prepped and ready. And Heindel, being a dragon of his word, lets us know that there is a demon's tower along the road between Nelt and Catabato. And that is where the demon, named Shadow, is to be found. We've seen Shadow before. but apparently he has some special significance to Portus. I guess we'll find out about that eventually. In the meantime, Heimdall thinks about something. I don't know. In any case, we'll cube wipe on back to the road between Nelt and Cadobado. And ordinarily I would cut on straight ahead to the tower, but something happens along the way. Look at this shit. Completely stunlocked to death by 3 ice meteor breath things. There was absolutely nothing I could do there. Oh, Princess Crown, I do adore you, but you are not afraid to bring the bullshit. Anyway, that's, I suppose, as good a place to leave off as any. Next time, perhaps we'll find out more about the relationship between Portus and Shadow, and wrap up this latest side story. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.